Hello viewers, welcome to I M Chemist. This is Imran, and in today's video lecture I am going to discuss important MCQs from one of the most important chapter of organic chemistry, that is alcohols. In this video I will be discussing about important MCQs from the origin of alcohol, nomenclature of alcohol, industrial preparation of alcohols, physical properties of alcohol, and chemical reactions of alcohol. Then I will be discussing about important MCQs that how can you distinguish different types of alcohols, and at the end I will be discussing about important MCQs from the uses of alcohols. Viewers, I will not only focus on the right option only, rather I will give detailed explanation about each and every MCQs. If you are a student of class 12th, or if you have done your FSC and right now you are preparing yourself for medical or engineering colleges test, and if you are looking for a job through NTS, Federal Public Service Commission, KPK Public Service Commission, Punjab Public Service Commission, etc., that is related to any field of chemistry, then this video will be really helpful for you. If you like my efforts, do subscribe to my YouTube channel for more videos. You will get MCQs of every chapter from my channel playlist with the name Chemistry MCQs. Link of that playlist is given in the description of this video. Let's start our video. The first MCQ is, which compounds show more hydrogen bonding? So the right option would be option number D, because it contains hydroxyl group and it belongs to class of alcohols. And alcohol have the property that they can make hydrogen bonding with water. In option number A we have C2H6. This is actually ethane. This is non-polar molecule, so it cannot make hydrogen bonding with water. In option number B we have ethyl alcohol. This is again organic compound. It belongs to alkyl halides. Here we have chlorine atom. Chlorine atom don't have the property to make hydrogen bonding. And in option number C we have CH3, that is bonded with oxygen. Then we have another CH3. This class of organic compound is known as ethers, and ethers don't have the property to make hydrogen bonding. So the right option would be option number D. MCQ number 2, which compound shows maximum hydrogen bonding with water? Various options are given. Option number A is methanol, option number B is ethanol, option number C is dimethyl ether, and option number D is phenol, C6H5. That is actually a benzene ring like this, and if you attach OH with this benzene, it will form phenol. In MCQs it is asking that which compound will show maximum hydrogen bonding. So the right option would be option number A. Methanol is having maximum ability to form hydrogen bonding with water, and as the chain length increases, the hydrogen bonding, the ability to make hydrogen bonding with water decreases. Hence the right option would be option number A. MCQs number 3, which compound is more soluble in water? Various options are given again. The first one is ethyl alcohol, the second option number B is phenol, option number C is ether, and option number D is N-hexanol. So the right option would be option number A. Ethyl alcohol would make maximum hydrogen bonding with water, or it is more soluble in water due to the hydrogen bonding. MCQ number 4, which compound will have the maximum repulsion with water? Option number A, C6H6, that is benzene. As we know that benzene is non-polar in nature. It cannot make hydrogen bonding with water. Water is polar in nature, while benzene is non-polar in nature. Hence there will be maximum repulsion between benzene and water. While option number B is alcohol. So alcohol can make hydrogen bonding with water, hence it is soluble in water. There would be no repulsion. Option number C, again we have propyl alcohol, so it also have the ability to make hydrogen bonding. And in case of option number D, we have ether. ether has lone pair of electrons, so up to some extent it have repulsion for water. But in MCQs they are asking for maximum repulsion, so option number A would be correct. MCQ number 5. Ethanol can be converted into ethanoic acid by what? So various options are given: hydrogenation, hydration, oxidation, and option number D we have fermentation. So right option for this MCQ is option number C. Now we have an equation according to which once you have ethanol, formula for ethanol is C2H5, that is bonded with hydroxyl group. If you do oxidation, if you add an oxidizing agent, it would be converted into formaldehyde. This is it would be converted into acetaldehyde, and if you oxidize this acetaldehyde again in the presence of oxidizing agent, so it would be converted into acetic acid. This is acetic acid, and acetic acid is also known as ethanoic acid. The oxidizing agent that you need to use in this particular MCQ is potassium dichromate in the presence of acid, that is sulfuric acid. These are oxidizing agent. Similarly, here you have to use potassium dichromate in the presence of sulfuric acid. So ultimately this ethyl alcohol is being converted into ethanoic acid, and this reaction is known as oxidation reaction, so option number C is correct. Next, which enzyme is not involved in the fermentation of starch? So various options are given. Option number A is diastase, option number B is zymase, option number C is urase, and option number D is invertase. So let me write down the different reactions. If you have starch, if you have 2 moles of starch, formula for starch is C6H10 and then O5. You have n moles of starch, and if you treat with n mole of water, so in the presence of diastase, that is as an enzyme, in the presence of yeast, that is microorganism, it would be converted into C12H22 and O11. That is actually a maltose. Then this maltose is further converted into glucose. We have C12H22O11. This is maltose, and if you treat it with enzyme, that is maltase, in the presence of microorganism, again yeast, it would be converted into 2 moles of glucose, C6H12 and then O6. Further, you have to treat this glucose with C6H12O6 with zymase enzyme in the presence of yeast. So finally it would be converted into our desired product, that is ethanol or ethyl alcohol, and carbon dioxide gas will be evolved. So hence, as you can see, diastase enzyme is involved, maltase is also involved, zymase is also involved. So the right option would be option number C. Urase enzyme is not involved in the fermentation of starch. Next, which compound is called universal solvent? This is very easy MCQ. Water H2O. This is known as universal solvent because anything you wish to dissolve can be easily soluble or can be easily dissolved in water. So hence it is known as universal solvent. MCQ number 8, methyl alcohol is not used as what? So the right option would be option number C, as a substitute for petrol. It cannot be used, methyl alcohol cannot be used as a substitute for alcohol. Substitute means if you use one thing in place of another. Methyl alcohol can be used as a solvent, it can also be used as an anti-freezing agent, and it can also be used to denature the ethyl alcohol. But it cannot be used as a substitute, for petrol. MCQ number 9. Rastrified spirit contain alcohol. So rastrified spirit have 95% of alcohol. So option number D is correct. According to Lewis concept, ether behaves as dash. The general formula for ether is ROR. Here oxygen have two lone pair of electron, hence they can accept proton. So that is why we can say that ether can act as a or behave as a base. So option number B is correct. MCQ number 11. Phenol are derivative of what? Phenol are derivative of benzene. If you have benzene ring and if you attach OH or hydroxyl group with this benzene ring, it will transform into phenol. Alcohols are derivative of what? Alcohols are derived from alkanes. For example, you have R, this is alkyl group, and if you attach this with OH, it would be converted into another class of organic compound. This class of organic compound is known as alcohol. For example, you have CH4, this is known as methane, and if you substitute one of the hydrogen of this methane with OH group, hydroxyl group, so it would be converted into methyl alcohol, or you can say it is methanol. So actually alcohols are derivative of alkane, which are unsaturated hydrocarbons, and derivative of water is, water can be used to derive alcohols, ethers, phenol. So option number D is correct. For example, you have HOH. This is what? This is water molecule. So viewer, if you substitute one of the hydrogen of water with alkyl group, it will convert it into alcohols. Similarly, if you substitute both of the hydrogen of water with alkyl group, it would be converted into ether. And similarly, if you substitute one of the hydrogen with benzene ring, then it would be converted into alcohols. Then it would be converted into phenol. Hence you can say that alcohol, ether and phenol are derived from water. So option number D is correct. Next, Dawes method is used to prepare what? It is actually implied or used to prepare phenol. So option number D is correct. And in this method, what we do, we treat chlorobenzene with 10% sodium hydroxide solution. You have to add 10% sodium hydroxide solution at 360 degrees centigrade and in the presence of 50 atmospheric pressure. This chlorobenzene is converted into sodium phenoxide ion, and if you treat this sodium phenoxide with hydrochloric acid, it would be converted into phenol along with sodium chloride. And this method of converting chlorobenzene into phenol is known as Dawes method. So option number D correct. So option number D is correct. Next, which is not property of ethers. So ether are inflammable, so option number D is correct. Next, MCQ number 16. Methanol is prepared from carbon dioxide and water using dash. So we have a chemical reaction, that is carbon monoxide. When treated with hydrogen, it gives methanol, that is CH3 and OH. So this reaction actually occur in the presence of various catalysts, that is zinc oxide and chromium oxide plus Cr2O7 at 450 degree centigrade, and temperature and atmospheric pressure is 200 atm. So here the right option would be option number A, zinc oxide. Second catalyst is chromium oxide, but that is Cr2O7, not O3. Next हमारे पास MCQ number 17. Taste of lower alcohol is lower alcohols are actually salty in nature, so option number D is correct. Oxidation of tertiary alcohols give what? Oxidation of tertiary alcohols give alkenes. Actually tertiary alcohol are resistant to alcohol. Primary alcohols are converted into aldehydes. Secondary alcohols are converted into ketones, while tertiary alcohol cannot be oxidized easily at ordinary condition. It means they show resistance to oxidation, but they can be transformed into alkenes using different oxidizing agent. Like if you have a tertiary alcohol like this one, this is known as tertiary alcohol, and in the presence of potassium dichromate K2Cr2O7 in the presence of sulfuric acid, it is transformed into alkene. This is alkene along with water molecule. So right option would be option number D. MCQ number 19. Alcohols can be distinguished by using what? Lucas test is performed, and that test is actually used to distinguish between different types of alcohols. If you have tertiary alcohol, it will form oily layer immediately once you react alcohols with hydrochloric acid in the presence of zinc chloride. And if you have secondary alcohol, so it will form oily layer if you have secondary alcohol, it will form oily layer within 5 to 10 minutes. And in case of primary alcohols, it will not form oily layer until and unless you heat it. Rather, you can say it will form oily layer if you heat the mixture of alcohols and if you heat the mixture of alcohols and hydrochloric acid in the presence of zinc chloride. MCQ number 20. Ethyl alcohol is prepared during fermentation is pure up to what? Ethyl alcohol that is prepared from fermentation is pure up to 10%, so option number A is correct. Use of ethanol. Ethanol can be used in a drink, used as a solvent and fuels, and beverage industry, so option number D is correct, all of these. Number 22. Ethanol in Pakistan is prepared from fermentation of what? So in Pakistan, ethanol is basically prepared from the fermentation of molasses, so option number D is correct. And how to prepare it from molasses? We have C12H22 and O11. After the addition of water and in the presence of invertase enzyme, and microorganism, that is yeast, it would first convert it into C6H12O6 along with C6H12 and O6. This is glucose, while this one is fructose. And if you further treat this alcohol, and if you treat further this glucose with another enzyme, that is zymase, in the presence of yeast, it would be converted into desired product, that is C2H5OH ethyl alcohol along with carbon dioxide. So right option is option number D. MCQ number 23, that is from Nomenclature of Alcohols. So alcohols are named by replacing E of alkane with what? If you have alkane, so you have to drop this E and replace it with OL. So right option would be option number C. For example, we have CH4. This is what? This is methane. And if you have CH3OH, this would be methanol. You have to replace this E with OL. So option number C in MCQ number 23 would be correct. Then we have MCQ number 24, which says that general formula for alcohol is, alcohols are represented by R, that is aliphatic in nature, and you have to add OH with this. This is hydroxyl group. So option number A is correct. If you replace this R with aromatic ring or benzene ring, so it would be converted into phenol, or it would lead to the formation of aromatic compound. So option number A would be correct. ROR is the general formula for ethers. Next, which is possible in ethers? So it shows reactivity toward acids, as I have discussed earlier that ethers have lone pair of electron on oxygen atom, hence they can accept proton, they can act as a base, so they have the reactivity toward acids. MCQ number 26, denaturing of alcohol is done by adding methanol in ethanol. If you have ethanol and if you want to denature it, then you have to add methanol into it. The formula for methanol is CH3 and OH. You have to add methanol into ethanol, and you have to add about 10% of methanol into ethanol. So option number A would be correct. Absolute alcohol can be obtained by adding rarefied spirit in alcohol. So option number D would be correct, that is calcium oxide, that is known as dehydrating agent. It will absorb the moisture or water, and hence you will get absolute alcohol. MCQ number 28, concentration of rarefied spirit is. So concentration of rarefied spirit is 95%. So option number D would be correct. MCQ number 29, alcohols can be denatured by adding what? If you wish to denature alcohols, so you can add acetone, you can add methanol, you can add pyridine. So option number D, all of these are correct. Formula for acetone is this, methanol again CH3OH, and pyridine you have benzene ring, and if you have nitrogen atom, so this would be known as pyridine. So these all can be used to denature alcohols. MCQ number 30, phenol was discovered by what? Phenol was discovered by Rong in 1834. MCQ number 31, the organic compound alcohols are much closer to structure, and hence it is also called as derivative of what? Derivative of water, as we have discussed earlier. MCQ number 32. Ether, that is an organic compound, has close resemblance in structure and thus a derivative of what? So right option would be option number A, as we have discussed earlier, that we have water molecule, and if you replace both the hydrogen of this water molecule with R group, these are alkyl groups, it will be converted or transformed into another class of organic compound that are known as ether. So option number A would be correct. MCQ number 33. Phenol is a derivative and has a resemblance in structure to what? So option number A is correct, that we have discussed already. This is water, and if you replace one of the hydrogen with benzene ring or aromatic ring AR, that is representation for aromatic compound for arenes. And what are arenes? That contain benzene ring. So option number A would be correct. MCQ number 34. The organic compound which are derivative of hydrocarbon of oxygen are. So carbohydrate contain oxygen, carbon and hydrogen. Phenol also contain oxygen, hydrogen and carbon. Alcohols also contain carbon, hydrogen and oxygen. So option number D in this case would be correct. MCQ number 35. The organic compound which are derivative of hydrocarbon due to oxygen. Various options are given. Aldehyde, in which we have carbonyl functional group that is attached on the one side with hydrogen, and at the other side it is attached with alkyl group. And in case of ketones, we have a carbonyl functional group that is attached with alkyl group on the both sides, while in case of carboxylic acid group we have this as a functional group and that is attached with alkyl group. Hence all contain oxygen atom, so option number D is correct. MCQ number 36. The organic compound not derivative of oxygen. In case of phenol, as we have already studied the structure, it contain oxygen. Alcohol again also contain oxygen, while in case of alkyl halide we have R that is attached with X, and X here represent halogens like fluorine, chlorine, bromine and iodine. Hence alkyl halide don't have oxygen atom, so it is not a derivative of oxygen. So option number C would be the correct answer. And in case of ethers we have ROR. It also contains oxygen atom, hence it is a derivative of oxygen. MCQ number 37. Which are phenols? Option number B is correct. We have benzene ring that is attached with hydroxyl group. Which are alcohols? Alcohols are those compounds which contain ROH. So the first one is ether. This is also ether. If you replace it with hydrogen, so it would be converted into alcohol. So right option here would be option number C. This is phenol, while this one represent aldehydes. Next, MCQ number 39. Which are ethers? So option number A would be correct. This is ether. This is also ether. ROR, this represent ethers, which are much closer to each other. So in case of MCQ number 40, right option would be option number B. Alcohols and phenols are much closer to each other in their properties. Hydroxyl derivative of alkanes. If you have alkyl group that is attached with OH, this is hydroxyl derivative of alkane, hence it would be alcohol. So option number B would be correct. And then hydroxyl derivative of benzene. If you have benzene ring and it is attached with hydroxyl group, so this would be phenol. So option number A is correct. In phenol, hydrogen of water is replaced by what? In case of phenol, This is benzene ring. Actually this is water, and one of the hydrogen of water is replaced with aryl group, aryl functional group. So option number B is correct. Aryl is actually a benzene ring. In alcohols, hydrogen of water is replaced by what? That is replaced by R group, and R is known as alkyl group, hence option number A would be correct. Then MCQ number 45, general formula for alcohols. So general formula for alcohols is ROH. Here this is alkanes, this one is aldehydes, this is alkyl halides, while this one is ketones. So right option would be none of these. Alcohols general formula is ROH. MCQ number 46, in alcohol R represent, in general formula R actually represent alkyl group, hence option number A would be correct. MCQ number 47, alcohols are classified on the basis of what? So alcohols are actually classified on the basis of nature of carbon to which hydroxyl group is attached. We have primary alcohol, we have secondary and tertiary alcohols, and so on. MCQ number 48, monohydric alcohol have hydroxyl group. Mono means one or single. So in case of monohydric alcohol, we have only one hydroxyl group that is attached with alkyl group. For example, this is alkyl group, and if it contain only one hydroxyl group, so this is monohydric alcohol. MCQ number 49, dihydric alcohol have, di means two, hence in case of dihydric alcohols we have two hydroxyl group that is attached with the carbon atom. And trihydric, of course, tri means three, so the right option would be option number C. For example, if we have this OH, OH and then H, now it have three hydroxyl group, hence it would be trihydric. And tetrahydric, tetra means 4, so option number D would be correct. Those alcohol which contain 4 hydroxyl group. What is hydroxyl group? OH group is known as hydroxyl group. Alcohols containing more than one hydroxyl group are called polyhydroxy. Poly means many, so option number D would be correct. MCQ number 53. In primary alcohols, hydroxyl group is attached to a carbon directly linked with what? In case of primary alcohol, this is primary alcohol, and this carbon is further attached with only one carbon atom. Hence it is primary alcohol. While in case of secondary alcohol, this carbon that is directly linked with OH or hydroxyl group is further attached with another carbon atom. Hence it would be secondary alcohol. While in case of tertiary alcohol, this carbon which is attached with hydroxyl group, which act as a functional group for alcohols, if this carbon atom is further attached with another carbon atom, then this would be a tertiary alcohol. So MCQ number 53, in primary alcohol the hydroxyl group is attached to carbon directly linked with only one carbon atom. So yeah, rather you can say that it can further attached with two hydrogen atoms. So option number B would be correct. Here you can see that this is hydroxyl group that is attached with carbon, and this carbon atom is further attached with two hydrogen atom and one carbon atom. So option number B would be correct. And secondary alcohol hydroxyl group containing carbon is linked directly with what? All the three hydrogen atom, only two hydrogen atom, only one hydrogen and two carbon atom. Yes, option number C would be correct. Here you can see that this is the carbon that is attached with hydroxyl group, and this carbon is further attached with only one hydrogen atom while two another carbon atoms. MCQ number 55, in tertiary alcohols hydroxyl group containing carbon is linked directly with what? It is directly linked with three another carbon atom. So option number Option number A is all 3 hydrogen. No, this is wrong. Option number B is only 2 hydrogen 1 carbon. This is wrong. Only 1 hydrogen and 2 carbon atom. This is wrong. Either all hydrogen or at least 2 hydrogen. This is also wrong. In case of tertiary alcohol, this carbon atom is further bonded with 3 another carbon atom. MCQ number 56. Primary, secondary and tertiary alcohol is a classification of a type after monohydric alcohol. So option number A would be correct. General formula for primary alcohols. In case of primary alcohols, this carbon atom that is attached with OH is further attached with 2 hydrogen and 1 alkyl group. So option number A would be correct. MCQ number 58. General formula for secondary alcohol. In secondary alcohol, this carbon atom that is attached with hydroxyl group is further attached with 2 alkyl groups and 1 hydrogen atom. So option number B would be correct. And then MCQ number 59. General formula for tertiary alcohol. So in case of tertiary alcohol, this carbon atom which is known as alpha carbon, because it is directly linked with hydroxyl group, that is functional group, if it is attached with 3 alkyl group, hence it would be a tertiary alcohol. So option number C would be correct. MCQ number 60. Simplest example of trihydric alcohol. So in case of trihydric alcohol, the formula would be like this. You have to attach this with OH, this with OH and this with OH. Now as you can see that we have 3 hydroxyl group that is attached with this alcohol molecule, hence it is trihydric alcohol, and the name for this is glycerol, or you can say 1, 2, 3 trihydroxy propanol. MCQ number 60. Simplest example of dihydric alcohol. Dihydric means if you have 2 hydroxyl group present in alcohols. So option number A have only 1 hydroxyl group, option number B also have 1 hydroxyl group. So none of these is correct. The simplest example for dihydric alcohol would be like this: CH2 and CH2. If you attach these both carbon with hydroxyl group, so it would be dihydric alcohol, and the common name for this is glycol, and you may write it 1,2-ethane diol. And in the previous example I have given you an example of trihydric alcohol, that is like this. These all carbon are attached with 3 hydroxyl group. The name for this is glycerol, and you can also write it like this: 1,2,3 propane triol. I have missed this tri word, so correct it please. MCQ number 62 is from the Nomenclature of Alcohols, that says the trivial or common names are given to the compound based upon what? Common names are given to the alcohols on the basis of their origin, the man who discovered that particular compound, and the places from where that organic compound are obtained. So all of these is correct. So option number D is correct. Common names are given to alcohols by writing what? ALE in alkene in place of E. This is wrong. Adding alcohol at the end after writing alkyl group, yes. For example, we have CH3, CH2, and then we have OH. So this is ethyl group, and due to the presence of this hydroxyl group, you have to add alcohol. So it would be ethyl alcohol. That we do in while writing the common names of alcohols. So right option would be option number B. Formula for benzyl alcohol is actually once you have a benzene ring and it is attached with CH2 group that is further attached with hydroxyl group. So this would be C6H5CH2 and OH. If you write 6 in place of 2, so this would be the right option. The first one is for methyl alcohol. The second one is ethyl alcohol, because as you can see that ethyl group is attached, so ethyl alcohol. And this one, as we have already discussed, that this is glycol. Formula for methanol, methyl alcohol, as I have already mentioned, so option number B is correct. Next one, formula for ethyl alcohol is also known as ethanol while writing the ionic system. So in case of ethyl alcohol, that would be option number B. I think this MCQ is repeated again. Sorry, for in case of methanol, option number A would be correct, not option number B. This is ethanol, or you can say that this is ethyl alcohol. MCQ number 67. Formula for glycerol is option number D. This is Dihydric alcohol. Formula for glycol is option number D. This is Dihydric alcohol. And MCQ number 69 says in ionic system of naming alcohol, E of alkane is replaced by OL. So option number B is correct. For example, we have methane having formula CH4. But if you replace one of the hydrogen of this methane with hydroxyl group, it will be converted into methanol. So you have to drop this E of alkane and you have to replace it with the OL. So option number B would be the correct answer. Which is the rule to write ionic of alcohol? Longest chain is selected with hydroxyl group. Longest chain is given name writing OL in place of E of alkane. Longest chain is numbered by giving lowest number to hydroxyl group. So yes, option number C is correct. While writing the name of alcohols in ionic system, you have to select the longest chain, but in that chain hydroxyl group must be attached and you have to give the lowest number to that particular hydroxyl group. Which will get preference? Which will get MCQ number 71, which will get preference for numbering in unsaturated alcohol? While writing the name of unsaturated alcohol, unsaturated means having carbon-carbon double bond or carbon-carbon triple bond. These are known as unsaturated alcohols. So in case of unsaturated alcohol, you have to give the preference to the hydroxyl group. So option number D would be correct. MCQ number 72, in aldehydes, ketones containing also hydroxyl group, the name of the compound is given as what? As alcohol? No. As aldehyde and ketone? No. Option number C is hydroxyl group is given name hydroxyl with position and or molecule is given name as aldehyde or ketone. Yes. So option number C would be the correct answer. Next, MCQ number 73 says that formula for lactic acid. So lactic acid is actually 2-hydroxy propanoic acid. So option number A would be correct. This is 2-hydroxy propanoic acid. As you can see that at carbon number 2, this is carbon number 1, this is carbon number 2, while this is carbon number 3. At carbon number 2 you have hydroxyl group, so you will write 2-hydroxy. In the parent chain have 3 carbon atoms, so it is propanoic. Since it is an acid, so as you can see that you have to replace E of alkane with OIC acid in case of carboxylic acid. So option number A would be the correct one. This is the formula for lactic acid. Next is formula for tartaric acid. Option number A is wrong. Option number B is also wrong. Option number C is wrong, and option number D is also wrong. The correct formula for Tartaric acid would be like this, hydroxyl group, that hydroxyl group is attached with carbon. Let me rewrite this once again. This hydroxyl group is attached with carbon, that is further attached with another carbon atom, and this carbon is again attached with hydroxyl group. Now this carbon is attached with carboxylic acid group, this is also attached with carboxylic acid group. Now in order to satisfy the valency, you have to add hydrogen with this carbon atom. Now this is the correct formula for tartaric acid. Another name for this tartaric acid is 2,3-dihydroxy butane dioic acid, 1,4-dioic acid. I hope so you know the nomenclature at position 2 and 3. This is carbon number 1, this is carbon number 2, this is carbon number 3. Let me mention it with another color. Carbon number 1, 2, this is carbon number 3, this is carbon number 4. So as you can see at carbon number 2 and carbon number 3, you have 2 hydroxy groups, so this would be dihydroxy. You have written butane, why? Because you have total 4 carbon atom, and carbon number 1 and carbon number 4 mentioned that at carbon number 1 you have carboxylic acid group, and at carbon number 4 you also have a carboxylic acid group. As you can see that you have 2 carboxylic acid groups, so you have to add di, and OIC acid is written once you write down the nomenclature of carboxylic acids. Then you have MCQ number 75, which says that formula for isopropyl alcohol. Option number A is incorrect, option number B is also incorrect, so the correct option would be option number C. We can write C, and the formula is like this: CH3 that is bonded with CH and that is further bonded with hydroxyl group. This carbon is attached with methyl group, so this is isopropyl alcohol. MCQ number 76, formula for isobutyl alcohol is. So various options are given. Option number A is incorrect, option number C is incorrect, option number B is also incorrect, and option number D is also incorrect. The correct formula for isobutyl would be CH3 that is bonded with carbon, that is further bonded with CH3, and this carbon is bonded with CH2, and this one is bonded with OH. To satisfy the valency of this carbon, you have to add hydrogen with this carbon atom. So the correct option for isobutyl alcohol is this one. Secondary butyl alcohol. So in case of secondary butyl, you need to have a secondary carbon. This is alpha carbon that is further attached with 2 beta carbon. Hence, this would be the secondary butyl alcohol. MCQ number 78, formula for tertiary butyl alcohol. So in case of tertiary butyl, this is alpha carbon atom, this is further attached with 3 beta carbon atom, hence it is tertiary in nature. So this alcohol would be tertiary alcohol, hence it is tertiary butyl alcohol. MCQ number 79, formula for neopentane alcohol. So let me draw the formula for neopentane alcohol. It would be like this: you have a carbon that is attached with methyl group, this carbon is further attached with methyl group, and this is also attached with methyl group, this is further attached with CH2 group, and further at the end it is attached with hydroxyl group. So as you can see that we have 5 carbon atom, 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5, hence it is pentyl, and it is called neo because as you can see that it have 2 branches. This is the straight chain, while these are 2 branches, and at the end that is attached with OH, hence it is neopentyl alcohol. Now these MCQs are from the industrial preparation of different types of alcohol. The MCQ number 80 is methanol can be prepared from water gas, from distillation of wood, from oxidation of methane. So the right option would be all of these. These all methods can be employed to prepare methanol. MCQ number 81, carbon dioxide and hydrogen, when they combine they give methanol. The conditions are: is you have to apply a catalyst, temperature of 450 degrees centigrade and a pressure of 200 atmosphere. And in case of catalyst, you need to add zinc oxide along with chromium oxide. So option number D would be correct. MCQ number 82. When carbon monoxide react with hydrogen in the presence of catalyst to produce. When carbon monoxide, this is carbon monoxide, when it react with hydrogen in the presence of these all conditions, it gives you CH3OH, and this is known as methanol. So option number B is correct. The process in which large molecules are broken down into simpler molecule in the presence of enzyme as a catalyst secreted by microorganism like yeast, biochemistry is called. So this process is known as process of fermentation, in which microorganisms like yeast and bacteria are employed to convert large molecules into simpler molecules. Fermentation of sugar and starch yield what? So option number B is correct. So option number A is correct. Fermentation of sugar and starch produces ethanol. Optimum temperature for fermentation process of starch where microorganism activity is maximum is 25 to 35 degrees centigrade. So option number A is correct. Essential conditions for fermentation process are: you need to maintain normal temperature, proper aeration is required, and the solution you are using should be diluted. So all of these is correct. So option number D in this case would be correct. MCQ number 87. In Pakistan, ethanol is prepared by commonly. So in Pakistan, ethanol is prepared by fermentation of molasses, starch, grain and fruit juices. So option number A is correct. Ethanol is prepared from fermentation of sugar, starch, etc. in Pakistan because it is a cheap process because of cheap raw material. So option number D is correct. MCQ number 89. The residue obtained of crystallization of sugar from concentrated sugar cane juice is molasses. So option number C is correct. Number 90. Fermentation of ethanol is done by Zymes enzyme. So option number B would be correct. Glucose is converted into ethanol in the presence of which enzyme? So option number B is correct. Glucose is C6H12 and O6, and in the presence of Zymes enzyme that is released by yeast, it would be converted into 2 moles of ethanol along with carbon dioxide. This is CO2. Starch is converted into sucrose in the presence of which enzyme? So starch, we have 2 moles of starch, that is C6H10 and O5. You have to take n number of starch molecule in the presence of n moles of water. It would be converted into maltose, C12H22 and then O11. The enzyme used for this is diastase, and it is produced by yeast. So here the right option would be option number C. C12H22O11 plus water, it gives C6H12O6. Now this reaction is carried by enzyme that is maltase. So option number D would be correct. Next, the purity of alcohol obtained from fermentation is. So once you obtain the alcohols from the fermentation process, that is actually pure up to 12 to 14%. So option number B is correct. Purification of alcohol above 14% is done with the help of distillation. So option number A is correct. Distillation is a process through which substances are separated on the basis of their boiling points. Distillation of fermented alcohol to rarefied spirit have purity of about 95%. This alcohol that is obtained from fermentation is further converted into rarefied spirit that is 95% pure. Absolute alcohol If you want to obtain 100% alcohol from rastrified spirit, then you need to do redistillation. So option number A is correct. Moisture from absolute alcohol. Moisture means water droplet or water content that is present in alcohol is dried by using a drying agent, and that drying agent is calcium oxide. Calcium oxide act as a drying agent. Denaturing of alcohol is done by adding methanol in the presence of in the alcohol. So if you want to denature alcohol, the original alcohol, you have to add methanol, and the concentration for that methanol would be 10%. So option number D is correct. 10% methanol is added in the alcohol in order to denature it. Next, MCQ number 100. Methylated spirit is obtained by mixing in alcohol. Methylated spirit is obtained by adding methyl alcohol, pyridine and acetone. So option number D is correct. So viewer, I think these 100 MCQs are enough for this video. Further MCQs regarding physical properties of alcohol, reactions of alcohols, and distinction between different types of alcohol will be discussed in the next video. So stay connected with I Am Chemist. Thanks for watching.